Who's thinks?
Hey, welcome to another sequel, man. Yeah, no, it's we're sitting on rustic outdoor camping. What you call this is a crawl where your lobola negotiations will be discussed in the future. So, yeah.
I don't know who is he speaking
That's
about.
to another Ruzumole Saking.
Eh.
And a lot of decisions in the olden days
Yes.
were taken in a place
Oh,
like
now
this.
it makes sense.
Yep.
Now
A
it
lot of
makes
decisions. When you go to the king's man, you gotta go to the king. You will not be sitting in his offices or in his whatever. You'll be sitting in a kraal. And this is also where the cows stay. And that's why in Setswana they say "Kgomo modimo nko e metsi." Wow.
On Temile.
Yeah, as usual, I'm the better one in coming to native language. But anyway, thank you very much for choosing this platform. This is Truthsyrup The Podcast. And this is Lebo Munchusi. And I am Press Ispusi Soko Harem Kokwa.
Welcome.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it's a very special day. Like any other day that God has given. Ooh, spitting facts.
And we shall rejoice in it.
Which is behind us is a river. So please just keep an eye for anything that might just pop on.
How are you going to tell us?
Just say,
I don't know.
scream.
I'm sure you'll make a plan though.
Yeah. But man, look, we're talking about I think we're going to be discussing something that is quite helpful to a lot of people to know. I think we are minimizing, ever since we started this, we are minimizing stress levels into dealing with everyday issues. That is our plan. Our plan is to meet each other halfway. Our plan is to share brain thoughts and brain waves into dealing with certain situations.
And for you to understand that you're not alone on this journey.
Yeah. And then the moment you realize that sometimes we have similar problems, and sometimes our problems are all in the same bucket. We just need to make sure that our success is also in the same bucket.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing. We're discussing things that are everyday duties, man, life issues. Like today, I realize that we do it differently, but we do it anyway.
Yeah.
Picking up the pieces. And a lot of you will regulate or they will adjust these two relationships, which we go through a lot. It hurts, you know, being left alone to pick up the pieces that we actually gathered together. And I think that's why it's called pieces, because like a cup, once it falls, it's no longer a cup, now it's pieces of a cup.
And somehow you must pick it up
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Even when you clean the place, you're not just gonna automatically at once.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick up.
But now
Those
in this one,
pieces.
you are left alone to pick up those pieces, or else it should be me and you picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
It's never done that way. When I saw this, and I've actually partnered it with losing somebody that you've held dear to you through death, through life circumstance, through you guys separating for another reasons, and you losing all the monies in your account, and you losing your car. Those are the pieces you are going to be there picking up alone. That it hurts. I have to admit that it hurts.
No, it's not gonna be easy. It's never easy.
Yeah.
It's
But
never
we're
easy.
trying to find how can we do it. Because like I said, our struggles are similar. But how can we pick up those pieces? And how can you pick up the pieces after everything is just on the floor?
Because once everything is on the floor, remember now all the negative emotions
Yeah.
that's associated with that.
Yeah.
You lose hope.
Yeah.
You feel demoralized.
Yeah.
You feel like you're hopeless, where you don't even know, what to do next. So it's not just you, when the cup just falls and you're like, yeah, you can figure it out immediately. There's a lot of things that you need to deal with.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we are dealing with. I want us to start. I'm having this one. I don't know why I'm having this thought where there's a lot of us who have been attending a certain church, and because of certain reasons, we decided to leave the church, and now we find ourselves lost. no matter the reason is, no matter the circumstance, you always find yourself in a haze. You know, what next? How am I going to respond when they ask me certain questions? Who do I answer to now? Because I was used to a certain doctrine, and now I'm no longer used to it. I've rejected myself from it. How do you
something that you've been identifying yourself with?
Yes.
Is that okay?
How do you pick up the pieces after that is left? You know, for me, I think it goes back to knowing why you were there in the first place. You know, if you're gonna attend a certain church, you need to understand why you are there. For whom are you there for? And it's not only to say, do I fit in a certain church, but it's to say, my purpose, the person that I went there to serve, or the person I went there for, is the person still there? Is God still there? Because I think that's why we go to church in the first place. You know, and it happens that now you are left to say, Ish. I think that's when you start having questions. Maybe was I too hasty? Was I in a rush? Did I make a good decision? Hey, you ask yourself a lot of questions, Level. You know, you find
that chances are you're not even gonna have answers for.
You know,
you're not gonna have answers for.
But you are left with they're still gonna be there. It's like you. I don't know if I was telling you the joke where you are trying to sleep and your problems are like. You know,
no, you're not talking.
Closing your eyes, you're like, now I'm gonna go, and then you just get woken up by, did I pay the car bill? Did I do this? Did I do that?
And by the time you think you're sleeping, but your mind is awake.
Yo,
you know.
So how do you deal with that? You
know. Here's the one thing I think sometimes, because whether we like it or not, we need to move. You know, we need to move forward. Time waits for nobody.
Unfortunately.
You know, just because you're dealing through stuff, it does not mean it's gonna wait for you.
Yeah.
You know, things needs to go on.
Yeah.
You know, so as much as you go in there, let's say in the first place, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a church or whatever, you might think that you went there for the right reasons. Sometimes it can happen that you went there for the wrong reasons as well. You know. But I think you just need to get to a point where you stop even asking yourself, you know, try to analyze the past, because it's not going to change.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to change whether your intentions were good or not. The important thing is now I'm here. I see a lot of broken pieces. How do I bring them together? Because somewhere, somehow, you cannot leave those pieces on the floor forever. You know, you're not gonna break a glass or a cup and leave it there without cleaning. Somebody's gonna walk in, your child's gonna walk in, class A, it's gonna be on their feet and hurt somebody else. You know, so those pieces, not only talking about literally in terms of those classes, but even yourself, your pains, your disappointments, when you don't deal with them, when you don't clean it up, when you don't bring them together, they're gonna hurt somebody else. You know, not only you, but everybody around you. So let's just get to a point where you need to understand that you need to move on. You need to move on. You might not have it figured out. You might have it figured out, but somewhere, somehow, and sometimes you think moving on to that one, it might be right. Chances are it might not, you know. But either way, you need to pick up those pieces. You need to pick it up. It's not going to be the same as before. You can take that glass and say glue and try to put it back together. You will still see the cracks. You will still see some holes in it, you know. But those cracks and holes, they can still make it beautiful, even with those cracks. So just because it looks cracky, it's got holes, it does not mean it's damaged. You can polish that. You can polish yourself. You can make that, you know, like now we're talking about this. It's rustic. This was made from different pieces, broken pieces. And I don't know if ever they can see it. I don't know if ever you can see it, but I'm just going to make it. And if ever you can look at this, it's still got holes in it. You know, you can see that they try to weld it together to bring the pieces together. And they're still not perfect. but it looks perfect.
It serves the purpose.
It's got a hole,
Yeah.
but it's still perfect. It serves a purpose. So what is your purpose?
Wow. Well, I was actually looking at something on Facebook, and I saw somebody saying, "Look, don't buy a car if it's from this, it's from that," and they showed a picture of a car that was in an accident. But when you're looking at that car, you won't actually tell that this car was involved in an accident, and it was a bad accident. Such is life, you know.
But you're a panel beat.
Yeah, thoroughly so. So that when you're looking at, we need to stop using only our eyes to look at things. Some things are more spiritual than what the eye can see.
But one thing, before you go there, the one thing about when you made an example of that car, as much as it was in an accident, they panel beat it. If ever you're to take that model, it's a 2020 model, whatever kilometers, and you put it next to another car, the same car, same model, same kilometers, but it was never in an accident. This was in an accident. This one by panel beating. The value is still the same.
Still the same. And that's why I'm bringing this thing that we need to look at things with a naked eye. You know, we need to remove all the slams in our eyes and look at things differently. You will see that things are not as bad as they come across, or you are not at the end of your life just yet, or it has not ended for you just yet. You still have a lot of things to achieve. Your plans have not been done just yet. You are not done, because
nobody's done.
Nobody's done.
As long as you still here.
Yeah.
As long as there's still life in you that you're breathing, there's hope. Even if you are on your bed where you can't walk, the fact that you can still breathe, there's still life in you, there is hope.
There is hope. And that's the nice part about life. It's that we are given a chance to wake up every morning that somebody did not get. You know? And that's why we need to be grateful. And that's why we need to continue, not pretend as if everything is okay, but continue and understand that such is life.
Yeah.
We will make mistakes. We are allowed to do that. We will misjudge people.
But if you're not gonna make mistakes, how are you gonna learn?
There's no way that you're gonna be able to learn.
You know? How are you gonna learn? I always say, for you to appreciate silence, you must know what being around a noise feels like. You know, for you to appreciate happiness. You know what pain feels like, you know. So
and that's the moral of the story, really.
At the end, it's all up to you how, when you go through those pieces, whether you were at fault or not, it's all up to you on how you want those pieces to be like at the end. Do you still want it to be a point where one piece there, the other one there, the other one there, you know, where everybody's just gonna keep on you know, type of a thing, where another kaya do you still want to be there, or like scattered all over, or do you want to bring yourself back together? You know,
do you want to own
do you want to own it?
Do
you want to bring yourself back together and say, you know what, I fell, it's fine, now I need to keep going? And do not let those scars define you. But those scars can make you beautiful. They can give you, they can bring out the best in you if ever you allow it to, you know. But once you focus too much on those broken pieces, I'm going to be honest with you, you're not doing yourself any justice. You are just going to, what's the point, man?
And you know, the funny part is there was a time in my life where I met this other lady when I was still a Casanova.
Hey, hold up.
Yeah, but I think I was not really a Casanova. I'm just using that because it makes me feel good. We all have scars in our bodies when we were growing up, you know. And she had this huge scar here on her leg, and she kept trying to hide it. You know, when you're with somebody and certain things about your body, they don't necessarily make you feel comfortable. So you always try to hide certain things. And I told her, why are you trying to hide that? You know, I don't know. Hey, look at this thing. It's very ugly. It's what. I said, yeah, you do not understand that every scar has got a story.
Yes.
Every scar in your body. And that's what actually makes it perfect and makes it interesting is that as painful as it was, you pulled through it.
Yeah.
It healed, you know. Because now, once you try to hide it, it means it's still painful. You're not wearing your scar with pride.
And let's be honest, even if to look at that physical scar, even if looking at it reminds you of what happened, that pain, you can never feel that pain again unless you allow it to.
So now the sky is closed up. What's left is your, I don't know what to call it, but what's left it's the image.
Yeah.
You know, but when you decide to say, I'm going to wear this,
you own it.
You own it, you know.
You own it.
It does not bother me anymore, so it should not bother anybody else.
Because let's be honest, there's nothing you're going to do that's going to make it disappear.
Nothing.
You know, there's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to change the decisions that I made 2 years ago. There's nothing that I'm going to do or ask myself now that's going to reverse whatever happened, you know. But all I can do about whatever happened is for them to make me a better person, you know.
Let's take. Have you ever tried, have you ever thought of having a tattoo? Do you have a tattoo? Though?
No, I don't. But there was a time where I wanted one, though.
Oh.
But I think it was not God's plan. No, honestly.
Yeah.
But chances are I would have by now hate because I don't want it. I don't my own beliefs doesn't go with it. But by the time when I wanted, I think God could see 10 years down the line, it was going to have a problem. And then when I got there, I had the money.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, when I got there, they told me that they needed appointments. So
yeah, I think the appointment was never going to be met.
Then I chowed the money.
Yeah. Can't even remember what you bought.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The reason I'm talking about tattoos is because I've met a lot of people who want to now do cover-ups of their 10-year-old tattoo because of the decisions they made while they were still teenagers.
Yes, I know.
You know?
I know my cousin is one of them. Sorry, cousin.
Yep, now everybody knows. So now, the reason I'm bringing the tattoo up is because it's permanent, you know? It's going to be on your skin. It does not matter where you put it. It's going to be on your skin up until you decide to remove it. And removing it is also painful. Putting it is painful, but removing it is more painful than when you had it. I don't have a tattoo. I once attempted to have a tattoo. It was once done by my brother. We were still very young. Here on my knee. I don't know why did I even think of a knee tattoo. It was written VIP. And it was not done properly. It was just us scratching skin and saying that it's tattoo. What's funny about it is that as VIP, I don't know why. I think I did not understand the meaning of VIP. So now I had a tattoo written VIP. He managed to scratch my skin so hard that the VIP was visible, only to me, because then it means nobody else will see it. I don't have it anymore. It's gone. And that's how we need to view life, that this is just but a scar, you know. I was with this person who made me feel happy. But he left me, but probably because I was not making him happy, you know. I lost my car probably because it was time, you know. And we need to understand that certain things are like that. They fade away with time. The person that you were 20 years ago, no matter how hard you try, you can never be that person anymore. And that's how we need to view. We need to view life as time. That when somebody said time is a healer, I think in relevance to that, they meant as we grow older, we realize that pain is no longer relevant to this time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we need to pick up the pieces. We should also not be afraid of consulting people. We need to consult. People are trained on how to deal with our emotions.
Yeah.
We need to take time and see these people, talk to these people, tell them like, you know, I've got a certain problem. If you don't feel comfortable telling your partner, if you don't feel comfortable telling your family or your friends, go to someone who's in a better position and who's trained to listen, you know, because in most cases we don't know what to do. You've probably been seeing the same person for like 20 years now. You probably think you can't live with that person, without that person, and that's you. You need to pick up those pieces.
You need to pick up.
How you do it?
It's all up to you.
Exactly.
It's all up to you, and make sure that whatever you choose, it will be taking you to a better place.
Yeah.
Don't choose something that's gonna take you 10 steps back, because that's where sometimes you get it. Because now remember, you've not in a good space.
Yeah.
So you want something that's gonna numb that feeling.
Yeah.
But just like you said with the tattoo, it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
So whatever you choose, it's gonna be even more tougher than the decision that you made in the past. You know, saying, yeah, let's date. It's an easy yes.
Yeah.
But me having to deal with us no longer together, that's a different thing.
It's hard.
You know, it's hard. It's difficult. So whatever you choose something that's gonna make you a better person. You know, don't go for an easy way out. Cause easy come, easy go, and the consequences are more damaging. You know, than rather taking your time off, like you said. Invested, I don't know how much they cost to just get an hour session, you know. That can go a long way. But don't let your fear get on the way, you know. Because now, renale reference, that's the thing. Again, now you've got reference, you've been burnt. And then you're like, no, but I already know how it's going to turn up, you know. That don't let that, your fears, your anxiety, cloud your vision to a point that you don't see something better out of whatever you're going through, you know. So don't get stuck. Don't be there forever, man. It's up to you. You decide now. Me feeling the way I feel today, broken as I am, sad as I am, angry as I am, frustrated as I am, do I want to live the rest of my life from today going forward just the way I am now? Or do I know deep down that I deserve the happiness, I deserve the peace, I deserve the joy, or whatever it is that is positive? If ever you know that you deserve that, then you must work towards that.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
No, it's not that simple. We're kidding.
No.
Saying it's simple,
yes.
but doing.
I remember something today. I saw something, and oh man, I forgot. But it had to do with what you tell your brain when you are alone. If you want to be a millionaire, you need to position your brain.
Yes.
Because your subconscious needs to know what we are doing. Because that's how we live. We live through we're not even aware that we live through our subconscious, because amount of things that we do, they're coming from our subconscious mind.
But there's one thing people must understand about the subconscious mind. Once I mastered, once I learned this thing, I was like, I've got it, you know. And that was mostly a lot of my problems. Because now we are telling ourselves what we don't want.
Yes.
We are telling ourselves what we can't tolerate. So it's everything can't not. But one thing about your brain, it does not, it deals with images. It does not deal with a not. So when you say I don't want, you're gonna get those I don't want, because your brain does not recognize the word not. It deals with visions. So once you say I don't want somebody who does this, or an abusive person, or I don't want a man who does this, or a woman who does this, and then suddenly you start attracting those, it is because the brain, your mind, does not recognize the word not. So change it up. Instead of using those anxieties, the knots, and the fears, change it up into what you want. You know, channel it, speak the things that you want, visualize it. Then now that's what you're gonna start attracting. Once you tell yourself, oh, I'm beautiful, I am beautiful. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself. Suddenly people are gonna tell you, oh, smart today. You know. So change it. It's all about changing that. So we that was also my problem in the past. And I was wondering, why was I attracting all these things? But I noticed because my thoughts were focused on the knots. You know, it was not focused on things that serve me. So as a result, I was getting exactly what I did not want. So this thing, ke bad luck. You know, na ke bad luck, lucky, I don't get in, I don't. That's what you're gonna get, because the mind, once I tell you now, you can even try it while I'm talking to you now. If ever I'm gonna tell you, watch out, you're gonna fall, there's a banana thing. Already in your mind, you could see the banana. So that's how powerful the thought is. And that's why I love the scripture where it says, guard your thoughts, because it shapes your future. I did not understand it at first. I did not. And I think that's why I want to make it practical to people, that try to change it. Even if, I got to a point where I'm sitting with people or girls, and they're like, no, when we talk about guys and all that, I'm sure guys talk about girls.
Yeah, we do.
And then you hear, maybe they start complaining, no, men are like whatever, all these. Automatically, when I hear that, I'm telling myself, not mine.
Yeah.
Now my man is good to me. Now my man loves me. He's faithful. Because once I deal with it, the more I entertain it, those thoughts, then that's what I'm going to attract. That's what's going to happen to me. And that's how I've learned. It's not perfect, but I've learned how my thoughts are serving me, and it has actually changed my life because I can see it working now. So instead of negative stuff, I'm telling you, focus on the positive, the nods, whatever, not not remove it.
I want to talk to praying people also. There's a prayer that people, we pray, but we need to minimize the amount of time we speak about the devil in our prayers. We need to minimize the amount of time we speak about people who are against us, in our lives, because you find that nobody's against you.
You're giving them more power.
Exactly.
Even if they were not even there, you are bringing them.
You are inviting them. So remember that you attract what you constantly declare. So we need to declare war on our own selves and our own thinking. And we need to turn the wheel a little bit. Just every day. Just because it does not take a prophet to tell you that you are the curse of your own future. If you say you've got a lot of problems, and trust me, you're gonna have a lot of problems.
Yes. Yeah. You know, my mom likes saying that. Hey, Oscar, I don't have money. You must never say that. You must never say I don't have money, because you're chasing money away. Even if it's not there, you must say, don't say I don't have money. Okay, next time I'll see you. I'll make a plan next time. Don't say I don't have money.
You see what she's doing? Yes. She's avoiding the words.
I don't have money, because she's saying that you're chasing it away. Chances are, even if it was just around the corner, exactly. She doesn't want money.
As much as the Bible says we must guide our thoughts, it also says we must guide our tongue.
Yes.
It says our words must be those words that are salted just a little bit.
Yes.
Because we need to understand that if I'm able to curse, that's why people, when they say Oli Bambelinga Shoni, they are literally cursing you that by the time the sun falls, something would have manifested in your life. You understand? So we need to be in a better position to get rid of certain judgments that we place on ourselves. And only then are we able to say, I am healing. If you are going to sit there and say, I have this bad luck, that bad luck, and who's bad, it is constantly going to follow you. Like
it is.
Said, your brain only deals with what it can see. You know? So it does not guess around.
So what are you creating?
What are you creating?
What are you creating building for yourself?
What are you building? If you say, I've got a lot of debts, then it's true. That's why a good writer said, when you say you can and you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
Because that comes from your brain.
So when you pick up those pieces, what can and what can't you do?
Exactly.
It's all up to you.
It's all up to you.
And
that's the sad part, is that you can even go and consult a psychologist, a person who went to school many years. You can even consult your social workers who are hired for that exact problems or solutions to give you. But if you are not ready to accept,
then you're just wasting your money.
It's like going to the toilet to take number 2, but you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Expecting a miracle to happen. You must push. You must push, because nothing's going to happen only because you want it to happen. It's going to happen once you start moving. It's not
going to happen by default.
Yes.
Life doesn't work like that.
And if you say, I want this, I want that, let it be that you are also willing to give this and give that.
Yeah. And you are willing to do something to get what you want, You cannot be sitting there and have a dream of seeing yourself udula modable story, but when I'm asking you now, what are you doing to work towards that? Number, you're not even reading a book. You're not doing any research of any possible opportunities out there. I'm not saying, as much as you don't have the funds, but somehow you must work towards that thing. When it comes, it must find you on the way. Already you've got the resources that you need for you to get to the next level. So you sitting here and saying, I see myself owning this and that, they're not just going to come to you. If ever you sitting there and saying that, I'm waiting for a job, it's not going to come knocking at your door. Man. You're not going to sit and say, once I win the lottery, it's just going to come and knocking at your door like, there's millions.
And, the unfortunate part, Lebo, is that we have allowed ourselves to dwell into depression mode for a long time.
Yeah.
That we somehow got used to it.
Yeah.
That's why it's easier for us to come up with excuses that I did not have time to go and do research. I did not. It does not, like starting a business, it does not require money for you to start a business. It requires you to start. And everything else that you need will come to you only when you are busy.
There's this one say that, yes. Meaning that you will get a job once you are working. Some will say that once you're not working, it's difficult to get a job because you're not moving, you're not doing anything. So that's basically it.
Exactly. And people didn't tell you that if you want to be a police officer, does not mean that you need to do a job. Just do something. The universe and I think God also works in this way that that's why in his book he says, I help those who are willing to help themselves. It means if you are willing to stand up and say, look, I'm going to walk, you are going to walk. I'm going to run, you are going to run. So we need to adjust our brain cells because some wise person was saying, look, with 1,000 cells, you are telling your whole body, if you say, I can't live without label, you are not going to live without label.
Because that's what you told yourself.
You understand?
So basically what I'm getting for this is that, can we just be intentional?
Yes.
On us picking our pieces, because this is what we need. Nobody's gonna come and rescue you. Nobody's gonna come and pick you up. They can help you, but you need to start. You need to be the first one. When you're in the house, you're like, okay, let me, and then say, no, leave it, let me help you. You need to do something. When a child is starting to work, have you seen them? Even if you go like, you're gonna follow it, they don't want that.
No.
So we need to get to that level where we think like children. Leave the fears, leave the anxieties, and think of where you want to go, and keep your eye on it.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Keep on and then try something, no matter how small it is. Even sometimes just waking up.
That's all.
Sometimes just waking up and taking a bath and just being you. That's just a start of picking up the pieces instead of locking yourself in the room and taking pills and trying to commit suicide.
I have a colleague of mine. He said something and he was not even aware. It was just a joke to him. He said, in reference, what he was saying was that the more you sleep, the more everything sleeps. So you need to be up. You need to be up and running. You made a good example of a child. The child will never see that is a thorn, that is a glass. I'm going to trip and fall in here. No.
Don't go there. They go.
They
want to believe in themselves. It hurts.
And by that time, I'm looking at the child, I'm like, but bro, I tried, like, I told you, bro. Like, that's what I do. You know what I do? I've learned the art of not disturbing the process. I'm going to give you an example. I traveled and I saw there was a lion dying in the side of the road. So we were taking a trip, and I was asking, why are you guys not helping? But that's the process. That's the process. That's what's supposed to happen. There's nothing we can do for that lion anymore. But nature should take its course. If I'm going to now start removing it, I'm disturbing the worms which are supposed to consume the meat that's left, the earth.
The value chain.
The value chain.
Because the birds needs to feed from
exactly.
that. And the thing that you mentioned as well about the child is, as much as they get hurt, that's one thing that we need to learn as well. They're not going to go there the second time. They learn.
They're gonna cry.
They're gonna cry. They learn from it, and they will never go there again. So even if you got burnt, even if you got hurt, when you pick up the pieces, don't repeat the same thing that's gonna take you back again.
Exactly. It's like you said, when the child is starting to learn. If the child fell and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna stand up anymore," the child will never learn how to walk.
Yeah. So it's part of the process.
It's part of the process. So don't disturb the process, your own process. Because we all have a process in life and how we deal with issues. Don't disturb yours. If it's time for healing, like the Bible says, there's time for everything.
Yeah.
Time for crying, it's time for laughing.
Let's stop this thing. Okay, stop this thing again.
Stop it.
But let's be realistic. Yeah. Like, can we get to a point where when things are not going well, automatically bagolwele?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Like, ke kopa go lontsha out of your misery. Yeah. Can I help you to save a lot of money? Where they gonna tell
I like that.
You know?
I like that. Yeah.
It's part of life.
It's a process.
Each and every single one of us, we are gonna go through that.
Yeah.
Each and every single one of us is gonna go through the pain. Like you said, there's time for pain, there's time for sadness, there's time for joy, there's time for birth, there's time for death. Each and every single one is gonna go through that. The only difference is that I don't know how am I gonna go through that. I don't know the process or things that's gonna lead us to go through that. My pain, we are all gonna go through pain. But what causes us to go through pain might differ. So, you know, lawyer.
No.
Lawyer. This is life.
And the funny part is the moment yeah, it's true. Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
It's the thought.
It's the thought that bewitch you. Look, we are not in denial to how we live our lives. But in certain aspects of our lives, we need to be realistic.
Yeah.
And take charge, you know, and stand up and say, but why would they target me? You know, I mean, come on, bro. I just finished school. Oh, they target me for whatever. But we need to also be aware that not everybody is coming for you.
Yeah.
You know, you are your own rescue team.
Yeah.
You are your own caviar. You are your own person. So in essence,
even if they are, now you must tell, even if they are targeting you.
Yeah.
Those people did not bring you to this world.
Nah, bro.
Like, nobody brought you besides God.
Yeah.
And He's the only one who's got the power and the right to take you out. Yeah. So don't give these people the power and say you're going to die because no, you're going to die when it's your time to go.
Limit the amount of negative thoughts in your life.
Yeah.
Like when you feel a negative thought coming, just hey.
Automatically.
Stand up.
Try to replace it with something positive.
Yeah.
Something of the same but with a positive effect. Like the one that I said, cheating. No, mine is loyal. So instead of saying cheating, you saying loyalty, you know? Yeah. So try to replace it. The same thing. So you're not...
Yeah.
So that you can
it does not stick to you.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to be able to pick up the pieces, man. Yeah. You know? We are not saying it's going to be easy. We don't know the half of the things you've been through.
It's not easy, but it doesn't mean it's impossible.
I'm going to tell you a story. I have a sister. I love my sister very much. And I hope she does not see this.
She's going to see it.
My sister went through hardship in her life at a very young age. Not from the people outside, within the family. Yeah. And we've been apart for I think before that 20 years. We've not seen each other. And when we sat, and for the first time after 20 years, she told me a lot of stories. I could not believe that a single person could go through the amount of hardships she went through and still be able to say, I am okay, you know, and not even forcefully so. Yeah, we cried, we sobbed, and we shared stories, you know. You know how we you see this one, it happened when you see this one. That's what we did. But I'll tell you one thing. The reason I'm mentioning this story is because she continuously teaches me a lot. Because Lebo's going to come to you and say, you have got a problem, my life is stuck, 1, 2, 3, 4. The moment you tell Lebo about your problems, that's when Lebo realizes, I don't have issues.
Yeah.
So when she told me that I went through this is what they did, this is what I tried to do, and now she's standing up. You know, she's even renovating her life to the fullest. And she's that type of person who would say, she's Zulu, so she likes say, you don't know the half of it. And I'm glad that I don't know the half of it, because then I'll be at disbelief every time. But she moved on from it. You know, she didn't get stuck in it. And I realized,
and from what you're saying is that she doesn't even look like what she went
no,
through. So
no, that's the sad part. You know,
that's a good
she's
thing,
very beautiful.
That's what I'm saying, because now she's not letting what happened to her or those cracks define her to a point that when she walks in, you're like, you're on a lematad. Like,
She has polished her glass.
So already when she comes, even though she's telling you these things, it's somewhat to a certain extent hard to believe, because
for me, I'm going to be honest with you. For me, it's hard to believe. But because now I've seen how incredible people, or the incredible power that people have, it has allowed me to take that and say, damn, you are stronger than I am. But we need to pick up the pieces as quickly as possible. That's the unfortunate part, because we are not going to be able to move on. We're going to continuously be bleeding on other people. So we need to pick up the pieces, no matter what happened, no matter what you're going through. Be brave enough, because it's not easy. It needs you to be brave. It needs you to be ready. It needs you to be willing. It needs to be available to say, I am going to pick up these pieces and I'm going to move on. So that when whatever happens, sees you in the streets and you're looking all dashed up and dolled up, people will like, are you sure that's the same person?
But when you pick up the pieces, do it for you, ne?
Exactly.
Do it for yourself, because once you do it for other people, because now when you do it for other people, you're expecting a specific reaction from those people. And once those people don't react the way you want to, it's gonna what do you call it? Or backslide. You know, it's gonna take you back. So rather, whatever you do it for you, because you owe it for yourself. You know?
I can't wait to hear the type of stories that people have moved on to. I wish with this video, I wish that a lot of people can tell us the types of hardships they went through. Even if you want to remain anonymous, it's okay. But sometimes we need to be alive when we see other people living. And that's our motivation. That if I'm living with this person in the same earth, they managed to survive this. What's stopping me from doing the same thing? What's stopping me from drawing power from that, from drawing strength from the person who survived a certain animosity or danger? So we are all in this together, but we are all individually need to polish our glasses, so much so that the cracks are there, but they are not there. You know, like I made an example with a car. You can literally go into any garage of any name, buy a car. You will not even tell that this car has been involved in an accident. You understand? So we need to use our naked eyes. We need to pick up those pieces, and we need to move on. But anyway, that's where we hold it for today. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Very soon. Very soon. Remember, we are outside.